Hi Leo, welcome to August 2025. Happy birthday to all the Leos. Happy Leo season. Happy new moon just yesterday. And let's start with talking about July 31st, which is when Venus will move into Cancer. First up, we have the Ten of Swords, and then the High Priestess, and then we've got these Eight of Cups. Your romantic secrets feel exposed. Your secrets in general feel exposed. Your love life, but also the way you are in love, is put under a spotlight that's very uncomfortable for you. It can feel throughout the transit of Venus and Cancer, Venus in Cancer, and then conjunct Jupiter, which is also in Cancer. It can feel like you're being judged, but more than just being judged, you're there's a lot of gossip, a lot of rumors. Your character may be questioned as well. Venus in that 12th house, Leo rising, also makes you painfully aware of what other people are lying about, what lies are being told about you. Sure, there's like a paranoid element to this, of you being like, are people talking about me? But there's also the ability at this time to zero in on who hasn't been telling you the truth. Okay, so that's how we start off August, with that transit on the 31st. Now that Ten of Swords and the High Priestess, to me that looks like internal pain. This isn't something happening externally. This isn't a stroke of bad luck or God forbid some calamity. This is you from the new moon a few days ago until the 31st, just thinking to yourself, I feel exposed. I don't like this. I don't like so many people out there knowing my business. Why did I tell so many people my business? I feel so naked now, right? And it all has to do with this, like, love, home, marriage, reputation, society. It's all surrounding that. And some of you may feel really upset by it and just wish that you could leave the entire situation behind. Like, you're kind of done with your society. And let's not forget, especially today, specifically today, Pluto in Aquarius opposes the Sun in Leo today. And it creates a very tense energy where people, they do this very interesting thing, and it happens throughout the Sun's transit in Leo, where they very much want to be the star, but somehow they feel that the only way they can shine is by putting somebody else in a cave. Now you've got to figure out which one you're doing. Might not be what you think. I recently had a conversation with a Leo that left me feeling like my brain was going to leak out of my ear. I have never actually come across anyone who was so clearly wanting to miss the point. And I think when we're talking about this energy here, it's when we've decided that we don't want to actually listen and we want to purposefully miss the point, that can create an energy that turns on us throughout August and into September. You've got to figure out where you're being a hater and where other people are being haters. But this is not, I don't think this goes the way you think. I think that the more time you spend, the deeper your introspection right now, the quicker you will figure out that what you think you're putting out there and how you're actually being perceived are so vastly different. And the reason that difference is so stark is because in your story, you're always the hero, and somebody out there, everybody out there, it doesn't matter, is always the villain. And no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how funny you are, no matter how beautiful you are, when you lack accountability on that level, there is no room for nuance in your life. There is no room for, basic relaxation. You become the kind of stick in the mud that nobody wants to be around. So it's important to not believe your own bullshit right now. It's important to understand that in every situation in your life, it is not possible for you to be the victim and somebody else to be the villain. There are situations where you are the villain and the other person is the victim, and vice versa, right? That's normal. And if it sounds like I'm being condescending, I'm not. I think it's actually something that you have to spell out to Leos. Like, there are times when you are the one who are in the wrong, and it's okay to proceed from that place. What happens next? Accountability, apology, whatever it is. But just think about it on your own, in the privacy of your own mind. When was the last time you knew you were wrong? Just a thought. Okay. Now, when it comes to money, we've got a really good term set up where you can actually create a lot of income for yourself, but it's a good idea to show your face. It's a good idea to express interest. It's a good idea to continue to be vocal about your creative ideas. And also, I think it would be, if you want, if you feel like it, I think this is a really good time to maybe learn something new. Something that can help you at a job you already do. I have a friend who's a Virgo who randomly took an AI and marketing or something class a few years ago. And now, like 4 years later, every job option she has is like 10 times better than it would be because of that one course she took. So in that same vein, if there is something that is within the institution or the industry in which you already work, I think it would be such a great opportunity for you to create your own really big break here by taking some new form of education, certification, something. It will do wonders for your economy. I think it's a really, really good idea. And now that Uranus has moved off of Taurus and off of that fixed energy, it'll be so much easier to get into something you like, stick to it, and have it actually pay you dividends, have it actually be worth your while. Now, people are going to want to fight. You know what's so much more satisfying than doing this bullshit right here with people? You know what's way, way more important than whatever the fuck this is, whether you're into it or not? I suspect that most of you wouldn't mind doing this. There's also this. Could just do this. But the issue is that right underneath this Ace of Pentacles is the Five of Wands. So your money is quite literally tied up with all this tension and all this confrontation and all this fighting and all this drama. And you know what the best part about all of this is? None of this is necessary at all, but it does bring you a lot of attention, and it can really fuck with your money. So you're gonna have to decide what's more important to you in August and in September. Do you want attention at any cost? Even if this is the cost? Or do you want to make money? Sometimes people get like really annoyed with me when I put whatever they're going through in the context of money. Like, I know a lot of times people get annoyed with me when I talk to them one-on-one. They'll be like, oh, but this isn't about money. But it is. Like, and especially if I'm speaking to a Leo, like, please don't tell me that it's not about money, because as a Leo, by definition, this is about money. Because without money, you can't do all the things you need to do to even feel halfway normal. You know, there are levels of entitlement, people. Okay, let's keep going. If you feel alone as Venus moves into Cancer and August kicks in, don't use that as an opportunity to start like picking faults at yourself or calling exes, even though there is one ex in particular that is like obviously you want to talk to a lot. It's either a Capricorn or an Aries, and they're like big time on your mind. Maybe it's a moment of weakness for you, or maybe it's what you really want. I can't tell, but your mind keeps wandering that way. And astrology wise, you are set up to get back in contact with someone that you had an intense affair with or an intense relationship with. So if that's not something that you want to do, one, stop calling them to yourself, and two, you know, take the proper steps to stay away from them. And then we have here the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Cups. And then we have the Six of Cups and we have the Ace of Cups. Okay. So when it comes to health, there is at least one person in your life who is quite content with where they're at. And I don't think that you really know or understand where you stand in this person's life. This doesn't have to be a romantic partner, but most probably is. Whomever this is, it doesn't matter. They seem pretty contented in their life, and you seem confused by this, or it makes you feel like they love you less, or there's less being poured into your cups because they seem so contented with their cups. This is a perfect opportunity for you, Leo, to pour into yourself and not make it about somebody else. Regardless of if you're hankering for a past affair, or you're really wanting attention in the moment, or you're wanting to create something new that will get you attention, regardless of where you are in your process, I think it's a good idea to allow this person their calm and their happiness, because you guys seem to be on very different places in your life right now. Whatever's making you feel like this, these other people, whether it's the Queen of Swords or the Capricorn or the Aries or even the Taurus, the Aquarius, they're all here. They can't help you with this. Nobody can help you with this. This is something very specific that has to do with your cups feeling empty because they haven't been filled by you. Maybe they've been filled by other people's promises. Maybe they've been filled by fears and inadequacies that people poured into you as a child. Whatever it is, it's not something that an external person can fix in any way. You are being asked here to, maybe that love that you crave, that you need, to give that love to yourself, especially right now, so these fears can be alleviated. There's an anxiety running through the whole reading, in fact. And I think here you're being called by the end of August to really to quell your fears, to be so loving and so tolerant with yourself and so tolerant of mistakes that you've made in the past, that you can love yourself despite your flaws, and perhaps even learn something on the way about what it means to love people despite their failures, their flaws, their failings. I think that's a big lesson for you, not just throughout August, but for the rest of the year. You know, most people who can't forgive other people can't forgive themselves either. They live in a... yeah. They live here all the time. This... oh, can you see it? All the time. This is so fucking exhausting, you guys. It's so fucking exhausting to live this way. I think that August takes you to the brink with this behavior. If you lean into judging other people right now, August will sap you of your strength. And you don't want that. You don't need that. You don't even need to be like this. This is so unnecessary for you. It's so unnecessary. But you know what? I think you're gonna have to figure out why it happens in the first place before you can stop doing it. I don't think you can just tell yourself, like, okay, stop judging people. I think it's so much more complicated than that. And I think it has to do with your inability to forgive imperfection within yourself. What you call high standards is actually a compulsion. And when other people can't live up to your compulsions or your standards, I think judgment comes into play, which it doesn't have to. You can still have really high standards. You can still slay. You can eat with every outfit, with every look, with every endeavor completed, with every success logged in your books. You can do all of that without ever judging someone else who wasn't able to do it, without ever pointing your finger at someone who doesn't live like you, can't live like you, doesn't want to live like you. Minding your own business will just make August a breeze. The thing about this is that you start off doing this, and then the world does this to you. You judge others, the world sits in judgment of you, but right now you've got so much activity in that 12th house that when people sit in judgment of you, all your secrets, all your shit, all your like privacy is all out there for everyone to see. Everything that you want hidden is out for everyone to see. So the easiest way to get out of this karmic trap where you're the one who ends up getting exposed is to just shut the fuck up. Listen, it's just getting... You don't need this. Nobody needs this. But it really does depend on you. If you find yourself having a holier than thou moment, or if you feel like the air is thin because you're that high up on your high horse, very gently, very calmly, very slowly climb down, because the rubber band effect of what you're doing is going to come back really hard on you. This is not pleasant. This is secrets exposed. This is shit that you don't want people to know. This will affect your vanity. And there's such an easy way to just slip right through this and not have any of it affect you. And it's like it never would have happened. You're completely unscathed. And it's just simply to mind your own business. All you've got to do is stay in your lane. But the more talking, the more fighting, the more stress, it takes a toll on your health, it takes a toll on your finances, it takes a toll on your relationships. And at this time, it's very possible, especially between the 10th and the 22nd, when you should be resting, instead for you to say or do something that is taken in such a bad way that a situation that never would have arisen at all turns into a nightmare. So very, very important for you right now to find your inside voice. Find your inside voice. Stop roaring like you're out in the jungle. You're not. You're inside. And there's no reason, let's go back to these first cards. There's no reason to kick yourself after those new moon revelations. There's no reason to kick yourself about your past or how you are or how you used to be. There's absolutely no reason to take it this far and be this upset about it. But if you do feel, really, really moved by how much you're being shown about your past, then I would suggest that the best way to deal with it is to do something about it. And the best thing to do, in my opinion, would be an exercise in no judgment. What happens if you sincerely just let people be? We'll see. I love you. September is your extended. It'll be available below. If you're watching this on Patreon, you're watching it on July 25th. And today is the Sun-Pluto opposition. And everybody's acting like a dickhead. So I've been hiding in my house all day. And it's been wonderful. Love you. I'll see you in the September video.